And then there's always the back end chance that I win anyway. A million points. Oh, because the driver's license is... Well, that shows you now we're actually starting to get real value. When this goes in front of this, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, this is going to make a lot of difference. Just shot us straight over the moon compared to everything else we'd had. Folks, this is what we've been wanting. What's up, nerds? I'm the Blue Titan. Welcome to episode 11 part 2 of our Let's Play Balatro series. I say episode 11 part 2 because this is actually the continuation of the last episode where we played the Checkered deck to some relative amount of success. Now, if you don't want to have that spoiled for you, you can go back and watch the previous episode, and I'll give you a second now. It should have the same thumbnail, essentially, as this one. Still here? Okay, so I'm assuming that you're ready to go and continue on the next one with me. So, in the last episode, we ended the run with 64 cards in the deck. I checked ahead of time, and 26 of them are jacks of hearts. So we're poised for a pretty solid jack run. We'll see how that goes. I actually also did something I've not done ahead of time in the past, which is go into the collection and look and see what we're kind of trying to look for, kind of give us an idea of a roadmap to find out what might make us successful in this kind of a run moving forward. With the current deck that we have with all jacks, I think what we're looking for is we want to find either the trio or the family. And maybe I should back up for just a second here. One of my viewers, who just also happens to be my my second cousin, he reached out to me and let me know through a text. He kind of picked on me about it, that if you have a set of 5 cards that are the same, or let's say 3 jacks, one's clubs, one's jacks, one's hearts, that counts towards a 3 of a kind. But if you actually have 4 jacks, this card, this joker right here, the trio, would still trigger because those 4 cards, as I'm understanding it, I haven't verified this is what he told me, so this is for you. He says, and I believe him, it makes sense, that if the hand contains a 3 of a kind, then it's going to trigger this. So if I have a 4 of a kind, that still contains a 3 of a kind. So this card would have actually been a great one for us to pick up. But I didn't know that at the time, and now I do. So I'm going to be on the lookout for the trio, or even better yet, the family. Now, something I was thinking about was, this is strange. The trio gives ×3 mult whenever the hand contains a 3 of a kind, and then the family gives ×4 mult if the hand contains a 4 of a kind. This just seems way better. I'm kind of surprised by that. I'm surprised this one isn't like weaker or this one's stronger. And the reason I'm thinking that is that when I read this kind of a card, I think to myself, well, wouldn't you want the weaker hand to have a higher mult? That way there was some level of like balance between the two, but maybe not. I mean, I'm not the one to design the game. I'm just reading this and I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't you want it to be like, you know, you have different hands having the opportunity to kind of offset the power balance? Because if I'm playing 4 cards, I'm usually going to be seeing more points just flat out anyway. So that's just a thought. But anyway, we're going to be looking out for these. These are the guys that we want right here. Either that or some degree of, you know, some other rare, something up here like maybe the burnt joker. There's things like this. This is what we're looking out for. So when we re-roll the shop, that's what we're looking for, to try to find some level of success. We don't have a lot of time to do that. Starting on Ante 8, right, things start to heat up. Now, if we find that hieroglyphic, you know, voucher, maybe we'll be able to buy a little bit more time, but we're poised for success. We just need a little bit of luck and a few good re-rolls, and I think we'll be okay. So I'm excited to get this going. I kind of want to redeem myself after the failure of my original royal playthrough where I played my queen's deck. So I'm excited to see where this goes. So let's dive into this. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna accidentally reset this deck, so give me just a second here. A little paranoid. Okay, continue with the checkered deck. Play. Yep, we're ready to go. All right, so as you can kind of see here, our current deck is mostly it's 26 or so, I think I counted jacks here. You can pause it if you want to count yourself, but I did the math real quick. So we're in a pretty good spot. All right, so last time we were here, oh yeah, we might as well go ahead and just use these because we don't have any real reason to keep these right now. I was also told, I think I remember seeing a voucher or maybe a joker at some point, that bonus for just holding onto cards up here in your consumable slot, but we don't have that currently. Right now we're just looking to stack as many copies of Eris as we can because we are trying to play flush 5s like mad. That's what we're doing. We originally were doing flush houses, but things just, we just started getting so many copies of the jack. And then also, in addition to that, I deviated in the last episode from doing the flush houses because I had this card, the socket busket. Once I realized, oh, I'm not triggering off the 10s, which, you know, then I was like, okay, I need to switch this over. I need to get this deck over into all jack territory if I can. And luckily, I got a few strength. I got a strength card, strength tarot card, which allowed me to turn 2 of my more powerful 10s over to jacks. And then I was able to just start spamming multiple copies because of this DNA Joker. And we want to switch this DNA Joker over here just to quickly, if you are watching this and you haven't seen the first episode, we want this DNA Joker to be in the front, at least at the start of every hand, because we want the Brainstorm Joker to trigger this and give us 2 copies of every jack, so we can just keep on saturating our deck with as many copies of that jack as we can. And then after that, we need to make sure to switch back over. But we're also going to try to get rid of this hiker here soon too, because he's, as much as I love this Joker, and if you've watched my videos, you probably know by now, I think this is the 4th video where he's made an appearance in some way, shape, or form, and he was the second in my second video I ever did, I think, or third. Yeah, my 3rd video I ever did, where I did the hiker as my thumbnail. I have a special place in my heart for the hiker. He is without a doubt my favorite Joker, and even though he's probably not even near one of those powerful ones, he's the first time I really started to see accumulated buffs. I have a special place somewhere here in my chestal region for this dude. But anyway, all right, so continuing on here. So enhancing a card to a glass card, we aren't really interested in that. We don't really care about that right now. I guess this probably isn't that bad. Actually, maybe we are interested in this now, because if we discard, this actually might be the proper time to be doing this. Wow, this might be the perfect opportunity to try glass cards. I hadn't thought about that, but because the deck has so many copies of the jacks, I could start making glass ones, discarding and making multiple copies of glass jokers, and maybe that's a better buff than what I currently have. Is that true? It might be. Because glass cards get the bonus. Here, I have one. I can look at this. Glass cards here give ×2 mult. Now, they are destroyed if this happens, but I'm going to have so many copies of it. Does it even really matter? I don't know. That might be worth considering, getting a 1 extra copy. I might do this and make a jack into a glass jack. Especially if I can do it with maybe like this one jack I had in here that I joked about being one of my favorite jacks. I had one jack in here. Where's he at? There was one jack that had crazy buffs on him. Yeah, this one. This jack has a lot of chips accumulated on him because I've had him forever, and I kept on stacking multiple copies of chips on him because the hiker, he's just been there since the very beginning. I will buy this. I am gonna make a glass joker. This is gonna be the first time I've actually intentionally made a glass joker. I think that might be what we want. Level up 3 of a kind. We don't care about that. Raise the cap on interest earned. Sure, yeah. We'll do that. And I think I talked about this before, but I'm not really interested in getting any more packs if they're like playing card packs, but I will buy Celestial packs and try to get more copies of Eris or Series, whichever one I can get. That's good. Actually, I don't even know if I really want Series anymore. I don't even know if I'm really interested in looking for a flush houses anymore, because I don't even think that's going to happen. I don't have a lot of copies of 10s anymore. Yeah, no, I think I'm exclusively on the Eris train now. But I will buy Arcana packs as much as I can. All right, turning cards into mult cards. Yeah. Something I still haven't figured out, and I might need to do some research after I get done playing this tonight. I still don't know if multiple mult cards are exclusively better than bonus cards. And I don't know if that's the case. Because as I've been playing more, I've come to a guttural conclusion. I haven't verified this, but I've come to some kind of a guttural conclusion that foil jokers, the foil bonus, is not as strong as the holographic, which itself is not as strong as then the polychrome. I think that's probably a safe thing to say flat across the board. So I am curious to see if the Empress is just a better tarot card than, say, the other one that gives you bonuses. This one, the Hierophant, or Hierophant, or Hierophant. I don't know. My gut instinct is to say that this is probably better. I mean, for my deck, it probably is, anyways, because I'm going to be making so many random chips, anyways. But I'm going to have so many random chips as it is. I think what I'm gonna do here. Actually, I don't know if any of these are good for what I'm trying to do. Because I'm not going to be upgrading these. I'm going to be at any given opportunity, I'm going to try to get rid of all of these cards. But I guess it's okay to like keep a... I don't know. This is already a gold card. These all kind of suck, to be honest. Is this the opportunity here to go ahead and turn both of these into mult cards? Turning these into mult cards does not get rid of all their extra bonuses we've learned. So they'll have the base chips and the mult. They're getting bonus card plus 10 chips and then plus 85 chips. The 85 chips extra is from the hiker. So if my suspicions are correct, if I do this, it should flip them both, and then they should still have the 85. Oh. That was odd. The plus 10 chips. I'm a little confused. I see that they went down a little bit on the extra chips part. I thought that was accumulated bonus. The 65 and the 55, I thought those were the accumulated bonus from the hiker. And that the plus 10 chips at the top was... So what's that plus 10 chips at the top then from? Is that the accumulated bonus? I must be missing something here. I know it's not the blue seal. The holographic part makes it plus 10 mult. I know that. And the mult card. The mult card's the plus 4 mult. Why are we at 10 base plus 10 chips on all of these? That's not because of him, is it? That's what the accumulated bonus is at the bottom of the card. A little confused about that. If you understand what's going on there, help me out here. I see the plus 65, I see the plus 55, and there are multiples of 5 at the bottom, so I know that's the accumulated bonus that's come from the hiker on all of these. What is the plus 10 chips? If you're screaming at your screen right now, it took me a minute. That's the base value of the card. That's the base value of the card. I see it now. My bad. Maybe it's a little bit late to be playing. Okay. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing of how well my brain is turned on right now. Okay, I see it now. I see what's going on. So yeah, so I lost a little bit of the accumulated bonus, it looks like, on these, which is... I see. Yeah, so this keeps the base bonus of the plus 10 of the card at the top, and then the accumulated bonus from the fact that this was a hiker stacked card and a bonus card were summed, they were added together. That plus 55 is the sum total of all the stacked bonuses from a hiker, as well as the fact that it was a bonus card. Or in the case of this one, this one right here, this bonus card, this has some amount of that 65 there as the sum of all the hiker triggers, as well as the fact that it's flat out a bonus card, which I think gives it like plus 30 chips, we said. Okay. And now that's why this dropped when I turned them into mults. Yeah, so if I can, I'm going to try to make as many copies of these mult jokers as I can now. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so we're gonna re-roll and try to find... I don't think we upgrade the... This is not useful to us right now anymore. We want to keep our money. We really want to try to find... $1 per card played. I don't care about that. We really want as much as we can. We are seriously look. Oh, there we go. Already got it. We are seriously looking for the family or the trio or some card like that. So again, I got to remind myself what this card is doing. If the first hand of the round you play only one card, so you play a high card hand, you add a permanent copy to your deck. And then we've also got the Brainstorm, which is going to trigger and make us multiple copies. This is our newly created mult one, so we do want to make multiple copies of this. Now that actually would have been an opportunity maybe to turn one of them into glass too, but we'll get an opportunity. I'm not too worried about it. I guess we could also do it to like this one right here. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I use that on this guy. Although this guy doesn't really have any chips stacked on him. Might be a little bit too late to worry about that. The reason I'm thinking about this is because I'm at the point now where almost every single time I'm going to get 2 stacked, I'm going to get planet cards. I'm probably way past the point where I'm almost always going to get planet cards, and I have diminishing returns on making more copies of the blue ones. Yeah. So because I'm just going to make a bunch of, like, you know, these planet cards, and then I'm gonna, let's say I get like 7 of them. Like, I mean, anything past 7 jacks in a hand, if it's the last hand where I win, if they all have blue seals, I'm gonna, if I have 8, that 8th one is not gonna give me an extra one, right? Because if I play 5 of them, they're all gonna come into play, and then after that I'm gonna have 2 more jacks. Those 2 are gonna generate me a planet card, and then the 8th jack is not gonna generate me anything. It's just gonna disappear into oblivion, which is essentially like wasting the blue seal. So now I'm at a stage where I think I want to stop forcing so many blue seals, and if I can, I'd like to start generating some purple seals here if I can. So this probably would have been a good opportunity to make an extra copy of this purple seal here, but that's okay. We'll try to keep an eye out for it in the future, and I think I will maybe make this one my glass one. And then as we start playing this jack more, now, obviously, this one's also not a heart, but that's okay. We're just kind of like thinking about that in the future here. Right now, we're still discarding it, right? We don't really care about that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and discard here the jacks that are not that impressive to what we're trying to do here. Which one of these is stronger? Oh, no, that's our best friend. We want to keep him. He's got way more chips on it, right? 150 extra chips is big. So we're gonna get our trigger here and creates a random Joker card. Yeah, we don't have room for that. We're gonna have to toss. We're gonna have to sell this. And then here we're gonna go ahead and toss out. Obviously, these guys are pretty junk. I don't like this jack. I'm gonna try to get rid of him if I can. Right now, he is the same thing as a regular jack, except he has the 1% downside of going up against that specific blind where he gets blocked for being every single type of, you know, suit. So he's actually one of the weaker jacks I have. All right, so here I want to go ahead and just keep on discarding. I don't need to think too much about this. Just keep on discarding until I get what we're looking for. I can keep this king here, or this 10 here, and now we've functionally got 2 of what we're looking for. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start playing these. And is there any one of them that I don't really feel like playing? I guess the 35 one's probably one of the weaker ones to play. Maybe I play them like this. Because, again, I'm stacking chips right now on these, and I want to stack the highest chip ones. I want to stack as many high chip ones as I can, and the ones that are already high up, I want to keep stacking them higher, because every time this new round starts, I want to make a copy of the jack, and I want the best jacks I can to make a copy of every single time. And I'm kind of, it's like a rising ship rises all tides, right? The higher the best jack in my opener is, then every single time I'll make a copy of it, and then the next time I come in, I'll have higher jacks on average over the course of the game. So I might, if I win with this flush 5 right now, am I okay with that? And the answer is I think yes, because now I'll get my two planet cards here. Oh, I should have, I'll switch these around. Is it gonna catch it now? Wow, I can do it in the middle of it. I didn't realize I could do that in the middle of it. I almost missed double stacking on the hiker, but I didn't. I missed a few, but not many triggers. Cool. I'm getting multiple stacks on this guy. I need to remember to do that, right? We want to remember that we need to move this over because we're getting double stacks on our hiker right now. So we're doing a lot of early building. And this is another reason why it might be a good idea to try to get multiple multipliers on, because we got a lot of base chips. We're really interested in trying to get those multiples up now. What is this? Oh, just a random multiplier, and it's foil. Is that better than what I have already? I think the answer is probably no. I still think this is better with what we're doing. This is cool, but I don't think we're there. Yes, I do want multiples, but I think we can do better than this. This is a good card, but not, I think, what we're looking for right now. Right now, I'm just trying to get as many. I want to never miss a flush 5 the rest of the game, and so, and I'm on course for that. I think I could be doing that. All right, I'll buy this. Use a celestial pack. Give me an Eris. Not what I want, but you know, a straight flush. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna buy standard packs. That was kind of a stupid buy here. That was just a bad buy. On autopilot here. All right, let's see what we get here. Temperance gives the sell value of all your Joker. Yeah, I'll buy this and use it immediately. Gives us another chance at the shop. Reroll. Upgrade the level of the first discarded poker hand each round. Okay. So this is an incredible opportunity. I want this Joker. I do. However, the thought process here is I am not yet at a point where I think I can guarantee every opener is going to have a 5 of a kind. So I may regret this, but I think I need to skip him for now. Because if my opening hand has 4 jacks and doesn't have another one, I'm going to miss this every single time. This jack, I think, has a much higher ceiling in a bit than this one. I still think the DNA is better suited for what we're trying to do right now. This is what we're looking for, though. We need something like that. Just not yet. See, and this is what I mean. I mean, this is confirmation bias, but if I had him in my opening hand, if I had him instead of, let's say, the DNA Joker right now, I'd be very sad. But later, you can imagine if I replace this with that burnt Joker, I'll get double triggers on leveling up my hands. That could be crazy. We are not at that stage, but it could be crazy if we go that route. All right, so we discard here. Well, I guess marginally it's probably better to discard the ace and keep the 10. This 10. Oh, that's 110th chips one? That's probably the best one to discard. I'm on the hunt for the purple one, but I think this is still the best one to be playing and making a copy of. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna do that now. I would like to make the purple one eventually, but man, wouldn't it be awesome if that purple one was a heart one? I guess it just, I probably should have picked a different one to do that one, but I don't know. I don't really think it was a bad choice. I mean, I'm just going to be discarding it and accruing value over time. Then it guarantees that I know what I'm doing with that one, but I don't know. Maybe if I could go back, I probably would have made that one a glass one. Used my glass bonus on a jack that was a blue seal. Bah! You know, it's all right. All right, so I'm going to discard like this. Okay, this is good. Okay, so here we'll go ahead and play the highest value guy we got, which should be 115, it looks like. Yep. Get our 115 guy going. Make 2 copies of him. Yeah, this deck is going crazy. Is there a window where I can get the double trigger and immediately switch this over? If I'm fast enough? Does speed in this game matter? Like, it looks like I can literally have this trigger, then bring this guy over immediately. Like, I think I can do that. Did I just learn something new that's crazy? I might be able to do something like that. We're gonna have to check that after this. All right, so yes, I certainly want to play these, and then my 95s are good, and the 85 is the next best one, I think. The 85 is the next best one here. So we'll play like this, and see, this is what I mean. You see here, like, I'm not actually getting any additional accrued value on these anymore. I've got too many blue seal ones. I now want to get some purple seals or some other kind of seals. So I'm going to be on the lookout for getting other kinds of seals here in a second. I need a variety mix if I can get them. Gold seals would be good too. Red seals, of course, would be insane right now. In fact, red seals would be better than all the blue seals. I think red seals and blue seals are pretty equal early on. You know, you eventually want red seals just for pure raw value, but the blue seals, you need a critical mass those to be able to get as many planet cards as you can. Anyway, I think here, while I can turn any of these into gold card, I don't think it really matters. I'm just going to put it on this, because I'm going to get money off of it right now. I mean, assuming I trigger this and win, which I can't imagine a world where I don't win off of this immediately. So we're going to play like this. This needs to go back over here. I almost missed it. We want to have the hiker in the front. I was demonstrating something earlier, and then I almost, you know. All right, so I'm going to play this. I'm going to get double triggers on all these guys. So we have some crazy high base chips on our cards now, which is really good. Feeling good about that. Can you imagine if we just get a single multiple card? Like, we've got really high base chips. The left side of our multiplier here, the blue flame, is the highest I've ever had it, without question. I just need to work on getting the right side, the fire part, better now. Makes me think of the the meme is like, you know, oh, we're learning so many new things right now. I'm so proud of you. That's what it feels like. I'm learning a lot of new things on this. Mr. Rogers, you know, the you're learning quite a few things. That's what it makes me think of as I'm doing these things. All right, get this guy back over before I forget. Let's move him over. All right, and then I'm not buying any of these. I'm not turning anything into clubs. We do buy the planet cards because there is still a chance that we get, you know, Eris out of the pack, which is our goal. As many copies of this as we can, because it's right now doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's helping out with the right side of the equation, or the multiple, the fire side, the red side. They're both fire side. The red side and multiple. Jumbo Arcana pack. Yeah, we'll buy these. If I can get something, Hanged Man's great. That's awesome. We love that. We always loved Hanged Man. Hanged Man will get rid of some more of this nonsense. We don't need any more money. Not really. I mean, yes and no. Create up to 2 random tarot cards. Yeah, I think I'd rather just have the known quantity of destroying these 2 cards. I don't care about these. I'm here for it. And I will re-roll. We will see what we get. That's all junk. I'll re-roll one more time. Spades or clubs. Not what we're looking for. Level up. Yeah. Not what we're looking for here. Lose $1 per hand played. I'm not too worried about this. We're just going to win on one hand anyways. We'll lose $5, but I don't care too much about that. All right, so here... Is this the best one we have in the deck? I think it might literally be. I think we have 135 because we just got that in a previous run. Yeah, we got a few 135s. Is it worth discarding to try to find him? I think it might be. I'm going to discard this blue seal one right here. Hey, that's what I want to see. So I'm going to play him because I'd like to get more copies of this in the deck. I'm not going to make 1,000 of this card, but I just want a few more just to try to get more tarot cards over the course of the game. Joker unlocked. Oh. I don't know what I just did there, but... Oh, nice, shattered him. Okay, cool. All right, now... I want to discard these dudes. See, that's going to be really powerful for us over the course of the game here. So we're going to discard like this and get double triggers on our tarot cards. And we're going to be very happy that we did this here in a bit. So we're going to add some money. We'll use this. And then we'll go ahead and use this chariot to, I guess, make a steal card. When this card is played and scored. We don't want that. So we want... I think we discard this guy too. All right, we're gonna keep jacks now. It doesn't matter what they are, we're just gonna keep them. Because now we got our 7. This is what we needed. I don't really need a steal card on any of these. Not currently. I don't see a world where I need steal cards as much. Because turning something into a steal card, it's a tarot card. It's gonna give it... Steal is the same thing as like turning into a gold card, which is itself is like the same thing as turning into a bonus card or something like that. So this would make it steal and holographic and have a blue seal. Multiples whenever it stays in your hand. Is that better? It may very well be better to actually make an extra one of these, right? Instead of giving it plus 10 mult. I think I might do this. I'm going to take one of my really good ones here. Maybe I'll hedge and go to the 125 one, sure. And then now this is no longer a bonus Joker. It's a steal Joker. But it kept all those extra chips. Yeah, I think so. I think this is going to be a much more powerful Joker. So we'll try to make copies of this guy if we can now instead of the bonus stuff. Yeah, I think so. And we'll play him now because we're going to win anyways. I try to get him leveled up so that later on when we're throwing him away, we're making extra copies. We'll be happy. All right, and then these guys, well, they're actually higher scores than him. So which we need to find the lowest value. 30, we don't want that. 65, we don't want that. So the rest of these are the ones that we want to level up. But there again, if we're just going to win, we might as well go ahead and discard. See if we can get a higher jack. No, that's okay. So we want to play these ones, not play these two, and these will just score us our... This is in the right spot for leveling this thing up. Lush 5. Yeah, we're in a good spot. So we lose some money like we kind of thought we were going to, but we'll get it all back. I'm not too worried about that. I wasn't going to burn through a bunch of money just because the worm, or the tooth, or whatever this is called. All right. So we're getting our triggers. This is still, I still love this trigger, and all the fun. It's awesome. Never gets old. Oh, almost to 200. Here we go. We're actually starting to see some higher numbers here. We just need to, now we're just really looking for mults, right? Really looking for mults, and not base mults. We're looking for like, not base mults like this. We're looking for multiples of our mults. All cards and packs in the shops are 25% off. Yep, we need that. Spectral pack? Yeah. See if we can't find ourselves a red seal or something. Well, that sucks. That sucks. We don't want either of those. We don't want to convert everything into a specific suit because we want things in hearts, and we don't want to get some random card. So that was pretty much a swing and a miss for us. Eris? Straight flush? Nah. All of this is useless for us. I don't know. I'm just picking Earth because why not? It's where I'm from. All right. Go ahead and level up these two real fast. Still don't have the telescope voucher. All right. Let's re-roll the shop, see what we get. No luck here. This is fine. Earn $5 for each discarded jack. It's funny because it made it almost like, oh, it's really good, but that's just a one-time thing. It changes every single round, so that's useless for us. Add one voucher to the next shop. Yeah, we want vouchers, but we can't afford to be skipping. We need a better jack or a better joker right now. We are in a desperate need for another joker right now. We don't need another voucher. We need a specific set of things to go well for us. We're going to go ahead and discard the lowest value guy here, which is, looks like 40. Discarding these, we'll discard the 45 and the 35. Wow. Certainly discard these. And then I guess the 55? All right, can you give me, and discard this guy, these three, and then what else? I guess the 65 and the 75. I'm getting a little greedy here, but I'm trying to see if I can't find one of the purple ones. Nah, nothing this time. I guess I could keep the 10. All right. We didn't get there on finding the purple guy, but we can make a copy of this guy. We won't be sad about this. That's our buddy. So we'll make a copy of him. That's fine. Switch it over. And then trigger. Get two. Switch them. I think that worked. I think I was able to switch them quickly. All right, here we're going to go ahead and just score these guys and not worry too much about it. It's 125 is the highest value, and we want to switch it out for 85. And then the rest of these will score. Oh, I said the rest of these are score. What I mean is these 2 10s will give me money, and then the 2 blue ones will give me my Eris upgrades for my flush 5. All right. All right. Ooh, got tea on me. Oh, that's not, we're not done? It's not over yet? Well, that's unfortunate. Well, this is what we have to do now. The downside is we get less blue seals. The upside is we get to level these jacks more, I guess. I mean, we only miss out on 1 though. I'm not super bummed about that. It's a little goofy, but I'm not super bummed about it. But it is like a foreboding, scary idea to think that a flush 5 right there wasn't enough to win in 1. Because this is, we're on borrowed time. Okay. We gotta find something here, folks. We gotta find a better joke or something. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. That's what we needed. Something like this. This will hold us for a little bit. All right. Plus 10 mult if the hand contains a flush, and then plus 50 chips. This can go. This is better than that as a base. That'll be what we get rid of. Yeah. Plus 50 chips and plus 10 mult is nowhere near what we're looking for on a full Joker slot anymore. This is a much better option. And also, this will be something later on once we get rid of this. This is something that we're okay with, you know, copying. So if we put this up front, this will be the thing that'll kind of shoot us in the stratosphere, point-wise. So I'm okay with that. All right. Still don't know if those are actually worth buying at all anymore. I think the answer is probably no. I should probably stop buying those. Just hyper focus on Arcana packs and things like that that can always help us like that. All right, here it's a little painful. Some of these cards I don't like. You know, they're not the worst cards in the deck. It'd be nice to get rid of these, but they're still not jacks, and so I'm gonna get rid of them. Getting rid of these 2 guys, I'm never playing them. They're not even hearts. So. It is weird getting rid of a card with a seal on it, but I haven't played it the whole time, I don't think, so. Bank card's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for any of this stuff. Reroll 1 more. That's not the same thing I just saw a second ago. Yeah, we're not doing that. Nope, nothing here for us. Reroll start at $0. I don't care about that. All right, there we go. That's what we want. We want multiple copies of this dude because we want to start spamming tarot cards. So we are playing this right now. Play it, double trigger, switch it, make copies of it. Oh, and I guess I didn't even mention anything. A little bit ago, I finally got the chance to see it shatter. All right, and now we'll discard them. It's starting to come together, folks. All right. So we're just going to hang demand a bunch on this one. I'm gonna get rid of both of these. This is fantastic. This is great. So here we're gonna discard the low value chip ones. Oh, there's our steel card. I was gonna say I was gonna make a copy of them, but that ship's already sailed. We got a 95. We got a 45 as the weakest one here. So we'll discard the 45 here and this jack here. Maybe the 65 here. All right, and then now we can trash these 2. All right, click this hangman, get rid of those 2 boys. All right, the deck is it's starting to take shape here. We won't win if we play this hand. So we should probably play it anyway. so that we have more opportunities to discard and get towards it. I don't think we'll win anyways. I guess we could, potentially because of this. Well, if that's the case, do I want to discard down towards... Huh. It's an interesting question. Maybe I... Okay, so the thought process is here. Do I place this over here and go for the win now? Or do I hold this, intentionally not win, get multiple stacks on the hiker, dig cards deeper? I have 3 full discards, so I can discard and sculpt for another 5 of a kind in jacks, and I think it's more than possible here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We're not going to score this intentionally, so we get more scores on our hiker here. I'm going to level up my power cards here. So I guess there's not really a lot of options. It's pretty much just whatever. Yeah, we're just going to play like this. And then there's always the back end chance that I win anyway. And if I do, I'm not super bummed out because I still get my 2 planet cards. But if I don't win, which is, we saw before, it was getting to 500,000 or so in this. That's okay, because that's just more points towards more base points being stacked because I'm a hiker. So I'm okay with that too. So we kind of don't want to win here. A million points. Oh, because the driver's license is just in there. I should have been discarding. Well, that shows you now we're actually starting to get real value. When this goes in front of this, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, this is going to make a lot of difference. See, just having him just shot us straight over the moon compared to everything else we'd had. Folks, this is what we've been wanting. Re-trigger all your played face cards. The sock and busket. Is it time to dodge this guy? Is it time to get rid of this guy? He has been the one. I really think the blueprint's just stupid. I don't think there's any reason why I wouldn't use that. I mean, I can literally make as many copies of Jax as I wanted to now. If I wanted to, if I bought this guy, I could just copy this guy who copies. If I bought him and put him right here, I could copy him and he'd be copying that, and I'd be getting 3 triggers on this every single time. The sock and buskin's good. Re-triggering all my face cards is good. It's a lot of base value. I'm not knocking it. My God, it's a lot of base value. All my chips and everything's getting double triggered. It's really good. I just think this is crazy. I think it's time that we put the sock and buskin out to pasture, and it feels really weird to say because he is the reason why we're getting multiple triggers on our hiker. But now might be the opportunity for me to stop making copies of things off the hiker. I think it's now time to put these guys behind me, or is it time to put the hiker away? One of these two needs to go. Maybe I keep the sock and buskin and it's the hiker that goes. I think it's time to send the hiker away. I think it is. All right, so here we're gonna make a copy, and then I also have to worry about flip-flopping every single time. So he is gonna make a copy of this guy, and he's gonna copy that one. This is so dumb. That's really funny. Okay. And then later I'll be able to switch this over to that. And then when I sell this eventually, I'll just be able to get multiple copies of the driver's license, which would be crazy. But not now. Right now we're going to be trying to make copies of other things. All right, now we're free to kind of go crazy for a little bit, right? Just focus on making our deck stronger. I think we're in a really good spot. You know, a really solid spot overall. We can be a little bit greedy with building our deck up still even for a little longer. Yeah. All right, well, that doesn't do anything for us. Yeah, this is turning out pretty good. Feeling pretty good about this. Reroll, so we get... That was a lot of red all of a sudden. Yeah, we don't care about any of that. Hopefully we can get some bonuses on our jokers, because none of these jokers actually have bonuses. They're just flat out strong cards. I mean, I've literally got 4 rares. All spade cards are debuffed. Ain't us. All right, so we play this. And I think after I play that, that might be the last time I make another copy of these. Just gonna make 2 copies, right? This is my last time, I think, maybe making one of these. I made 4 of them, or 3 of them, I just forgot. That's right, right. So now I'm gonna have blue, like red seal, and they're all I'm gonna get to the point where I'll be able to just make a flush out of these. All right, so we'll discard like this. I'm not gonna do any more of those. That's enough of those. I just want to make sure that when I'm discarding, I always get I get as many triggers on the turrets as I can. All right, turning some things into bonus cards we don't really care about. I'll sell it. Here, I'll go ahead and make some planet cards. Sure. Nothing we care too much about, but that's what I'm talking about. Just innate random value like that's gonna matter over the course of the game. I could probably sell these, get just as much value out of them for $1. Because realistically, what else am I gonna do with that? All right, I'll discard these, get some more of them. I guess I'll discard this 105 one. Do I even discard? I like these jokers. Or these jacks, I mean. I keep calling them jokers. If I discard like this, I'll already have my 5. All right. Now might be a good time to turn one of these cards into another one of these. Yeah, well, we're not doing this. Take this 4, I guess, and turn it into another. I mean, ideally, it'd be nice to actually have like a red seal jack now that I could start making multiple copies of and start working on red seals. Because I think the red seals are going to really help us as we move forward. It's going to be the thing I need to get us over the edge. But how many 1, 2, 3? I have 7 of those. I don't dare make any more purple ones. I've got enough purple ones. I don't want to start playing with fire. Okay, I'm going to do this now. We're going to make this. Well, I said the 4. I mean, we're talking margins now. It doesn't really matter that much. Well, we're going to make this. Convert the left card into the card on the right. The left card and the card on the right. Yeah, so we're going to make it a copy of this guy real quick. Let's just, you know, make our deck more efficient here. And then we'll go ahead and discard as we do. Oh yeah, Wheel of Fortune is exactly what we want to be seeing. Even if we get nopes, you know, the more opportunities we can get one of these things to upgrade, that'd be great. I guess I'll just go ahead and turn this into a gold card. Hold on to him. Because he's no longer a junk card like he was before. That's fine. All right. Here we'll go ahead and level up our cards. Well, I guess I'm starting to pick cards and thinking about leveling them up anymore. The hiker's gone. We don't need to worry about that anymore. So, is there any upside to doing this here? This is no longer relevant. Here, I might as well just try to get out of this place. So let's just go ahead and score as high as we can and go and see what, this will be a good litmus test to see how good we are doing. So we got a flush 5 here. We're going to get 2 triggers here. Yeah. We got a molten here in the midst too. Oh, hold on. Do I go like this? Switch them. 16 million? Whoa! All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let's look for some red seals. Place. I don't care about that. Planet cards appear 4 times more frequently. Sure. We don't care about standard packs anymore. We are not interested in that. Level in the flush 5, almost to level 30. This is crazy. All right, we will pick this. Hey, we got it. Is this level 30 now? We got to level 30. All right, reroll. Sell this card to disable the current boss blind. Not what we're looking for. What is the current boss blind? The flints, base chips, and molts are halves. Okay. I'm not too worried about that. You know, we're not trying to make stone cards. That's essentially relevant to us. Enhances a card into a steel card. Yeah, I think we probably buy that. That's a voucher to the next shop. I just think I want as many opportunities to get to the shop as I can. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. All right, turning something into a steel card. All right, so we're gonna discard all these dudes. Still feels uncomfortable. We already have. We still have like a bunch of cards that are useless every single hand like this. We don't want to be seeing that. All right, so we will discard this guy. Like, this guy's actually not good at all. We'll discard like this. The base chips on this guy blow this guy out of the water. All right. So the weakest jacks here in this hand are like so. This is our steel one. Just an opportunity to turn this boy into a steel one. He's not foil though. You really need to put a non-blue seal on one of these cards. It's so funny to think, like, when I first started, I didn't really understand how blue seals work, and now I got a deck full of infinite blue seals, and they're growing out of my ears, and I don't need them anymore. I've got too many of them. Whatever I score, I'm just gonna win if I do this, so I gotta be careful here. I don't want to win immediately. Not before I use the steel bonus here. So we'll get rid of this and this, I guess. Like this, so I guess. 115, 105 is weaker. Just like this. Okay. All right. You know, in hindsight, this card being glass would have been much better if it was steel. Because if I end up with it in my final hand, then, you know, I'm never going to play it. But at least if it's in my final hand, it still has value. But if it's glass, it doesn't really have any value because these being glass doesn't really help because I'm never going to play these ones. These I want to be like glass and more powerful. Man, there's so many little twists and turns and things like that you pick up and you're like, oh, right. I do want to play the glass cards eventually. Man. So then I guess in that case, I don't want to make this a steel card. I don't want to make more copies of it, I know that for sure. Bonus chips, I don't think I really care about that anymore. I think I'd rather just do this. This already has a lot of bonus chips, so I think I'd rather make this into a steel card. And then now it's going to have a high amount of base chips. Yeah, so we'll make a copy of this or this one, whatever. Doesn't really matter. They're both steel. Yeah, this is the one I'm going to make a copy of. And then make multiple copies of this guy. And then we will... Yeah, that's gonna start mattering. Oh my gosh. All right, so here we will discard like this, I guess. What is this one? 115 versus what, 95? Turning things into lucky cards? I don't think that's where I'm at right now. Lucky cards are cool. 1 in 5 chance to get plus 20 mult. All right. Weaker cards here. These are all... Contact is sticking there. We're just giving it a bonus of some kind. I mean, it's like whatever. I'm out of discard, so I can't really find any more of the purple seal ones. I'm basically in the position now where I'm just going to score this. All right, let's see what we can get through the stratosphere on this. So we're scoring these right here, and then I guess one of these. Doesn't really matter too much. Again. Oh, so each individual iteration of the card triggering is a separate chance too. So if it triggers once on the lucky, it doesn't get triggered a second time because of the sock and buskin. I think we found our avenue. We really want to make as many copies of that steel card as we can possibly get. I think that's it. I think we might have just accidentally found our avenue. Yeah. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. 54 million. That was our bottom right there. That was good. All right. Hanged Man. Enhances one card into a wild card, turns cards into lucky cards, gets some random planet card, only choosing one of these. Not doing anything with these. Wild card is fine because it turns this into a heart and makes it playable in the deck, you know? But if it's a wild card, it's no longer a glass card, so it'll just be like a purple seal heart. I don't know if I really care that much about that. I think I'd rather just have the two planet cards, or I guess I did not mean to click that. That was an accident. Yeah, I mean, it's margins. I'm gonna sneeze, I think. Maybe not, I don't know. All right, tarot card. So what we get? Get steel card, converting cards into hearts. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, we get to choose one. It's too bad we didn't get more of those, but that's okay. Getting this into becoming a heart is actually a goal. Turning into a steel card is probably even a better goal, but getting it into a heart is probably the first step. Converts 3 cards into hearts. Yeah. Is this just the wrong opportunity to do that? The Joker's irrelevant here. Making things bonus cards is not what we were looking for. We've already got bonus cards. We want them to be multiples. $20 is not very much right now. A steel card is probably still... Who am I kidding? It probably is a steel card. Probably the steel card, isn't it? It's probably the steel card. Yeah, we're gonna turn this into a steel card. Gotta keep an eye out for Arcana packs, though. We want as many steel cards as we can possibly get now. Just make a lot of copies of those. Switch this guy over here. Hey, oh, well, heck yeah! I know we were supposed to find those in the shop, but I didn't expect to see one of those so quick. That was nice. All right. Every time a planet card gets used, is it a little late for that? I think Sock and Buskin's actually better than he is right now. This card is going to be nuts. I think we can do better than this, though. This card's really strong. I like I said, I'm a big believer in this card. I think it can do a lot. It can also it can build up an amount of rares that you start working on this super early. You can make it much higher than something like the driver's license. But I'd have to put a lot of work into this. It's currently 1 time small. I would need to use 20 planet cards, 20, before this thing actually started to be like better than the driver's license. And I think re-triggering the Sock and Buskin's probably better right now. This thing has infinite scalability, but it's just not as powerful as what I'd like to see right now. Don't get me wrong, it is a good option, and it is a little painful not choosing it. I thought about it, I really did. All right, so this is our steel card. Yeah, so we want to make a copy of this guy. It's also nice to not have to switch the Joker's orders every single time while I'm in the middle of it. I have to think about that. All right, and then now here, we will discard all this junk here we don't care about. Well, discard cards that are not actually the things we care about at all. This is our buddy. I guess I'll discard. Oh yeah, this needs to go. I might want to trash it. If I get an opportunity, I want to burn this too. All right, this Jack is... He's nefarious because he's like, he looks like he's good because he's another Jack of Hearts, but he has no bonuses. So discard these. A gold card. I don't think I care about money as much as I once did. I think I'd rather just start discarding. I'm gonna make him gold. Our old buddy. He's reached gold status now. Alright. Do I aggressively discard to go look for those tarot cards? I really think I do, right? And this is a multiple one, so I'll discard like this. This is a multiple, and these are all steel cards. I'd like to keep those and score those when I can. Yeah. All right, cool. Wheel of Fortune. Nope, that's okay. How many jacks do I have? I've still got this whole group of junk down here. I don't want to be like too greedy. How many cards do I have left? It's kind of hard to actually tell. Remaining. Full deck, remaining. Okay, remaining is still kind of hard to see, to be honest. It is really still kind of hard to see. I do see the missing cards. It's just still not the greatest. I'm just gonna play this. Ah! Go for it. Yeah! Yeah! All right. Okay, cool. Bonus cards, we don't want that. We don't want to turn cards into bonus cards anymore. We're just gonna sell this for some money. Here, we'll get our planet cards. Useless test, but see, now I'm already sitting here going like, man, what if I had just picked the planet card that was upgrading and stuff? And it's fair, it's true. That might have been the pick, but I really think we could probably do better. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe uncommon guy that scales forever on planets. Maybe he is really, really the best that I could do right now. Or one of the best things I could do right now. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Move this guy over here. Hold on. The way this is triggering, trigger. Okay, so none of this is actually triggering, so it should... Okay. I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused as what just happened there. So this... Huh. Did I mess something up? I know I was playing at the order or whatever there, but I think the driver's license didn't... I'm trying to figure out if the order, like not the order, but the order in which they trigger is mattering here. Yeah, I should have just left him over there from the start. Okay, that's fine. I missed out on an Eris level. I'm not gonna move the order of these anymore. I'm gonna leave them as they are. I don't think I can like move them in the middle of it anymore like I was. I think I messed it up. We don't care about any of those. I'm sitting here regretting not buying the planet guy, but I'm not regretting it super hard. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Say less. You don't have to say much to sell me on a hanged man. All right. Another hanged man? Oh my gosh. These are all good. The hangman would get rid of these, of course, but I'm also sitting here thinking, like, do I take this opportunity to make another copy of one of these guys? Of course, but these I'm going to be able to make as many copies of these over the course of the game as I want. I'm not really worried about that anymore. Maybe this is the right time to... Maybe the hangman's the disciplined play. Feels weird. All right, reroll. So we get... Yeah, we're never going to use that. Take the steel card. Let's go next. Let's just go ahead and go. Base chips and mults are halved. We don't really care about that because we've got the... All right, we're turning him into a steel card. So let's go ahead and discard. Oh, turning things into hearts. Do I dig? I think I'm going to. I'm gonna dig for more copies of this Jack for a second here. I think I can do one more. Actually, I can probably do more than one more. I'm scoring millions of points now. Okay. I think it's good enough to do it now. All right, so now we've got glass jokers, and I think we start making copies of the glass jokers. Is that good? ×2 mult, ×2 to the overall mult. I think it is. And this one's plus 10 chips. I think this is right. I'm gonna make multiple copies of this dude. Okay. Turn these guys into mult jokers now. Mult jokers. And then afterwards we will... The bonus card stuff we don't care about so much anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and discard these out real quick too. Wheel of Fortune. One of these is going to start triggering. We're going to start seeing more, like, at some point, just by sheer will, we're going to see it because we're starting to make so many copies of that. That's awesome. Okay, so here we'll go ahead and play the malt one. It doesn't really matter what we play. We're keeping this one because it's going to score money for us. We don't really care about that. Man, he's got 80 plus chips on him. He stacked a lot from the earlier dude, the hiker. Hiker did some work. Okay, so we're going to play the cards that aren't steel, right? Now we're talking margins here. I don't really care that much. I guess we'll play this one. And then we'll switch these. We're getting it. We're starting to get... This might be a big score hand. Might be a big score here. We're starting to see multiple iterations of the purple seal too, which is great. This could be a big payout here. Big payout here. A big one. We got there. Still not the biggest one we've had, but you know, we're starting to orchestrate that. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Wrathful Joker? Oh, spades. Creates up to 2 planet cards. We don't care about that. We're going to use these, though, now. I think the re-roll the boss vouchers in there, the VHS one. I've never used it, but I could foresee us getting to a point where maybe that's going to be relevant, especially considering this. Honestly, a lot of times I don't even think it's the boss that scares me once you get to these higher, you know, higher tiers. What scares me more is just the raw amount of points that you have to score. That's what's gonna block you. I guess we use these. It's marginal. If I get an era series, it's not what I was looking for, but you know, it was worth it. I think if I can get one more multiple out of it, I paid $2 for a chance at getting an extra planet of my dominant hand. I think I do that. All right. Dang. And it's choose 2, and I still didn't get it. See, now I'm sitting here going, man, maybe I really should have gone with that planet guy, blah, blah, blah. And then now it's sunk cost fallacy, you know, or I guess technically it's just like, you know, grass is always greener kind of thing here. It'd be the sunk cost fallacy if I saw the card again and then chose not to get it because I didn't get it the first time. That'd be incorrect. And now I'm sitting here ad-libbing while I'm talking and I'm buying useless packs. So I already previously said I wasn't going to buy. Stupid. Okay. Okay, so this is a card that I've never bought before, and somebody was picking on me about it. They were like, don't sleep on the whatever Joker this is. I don't know if it's a ramen or what it is, but don't sleep on it. That card's really good, and I can see it for sure. I can definitely see why that would be good. For a small amount of money, you can get ×2 to your mult forever. If the poker hand is a straight flush, create a random spectral card. Really cool, just not what we're trying to do here. All right, 300 million now. Now we're starting to get into the scary stuff. Gives a copy of the next selected double tag. Gives a free Arcana mega pack. I don't think that's where we're at. I think we just want to play. All right, these are all gone. All right. So this is our glass purple one, so we want to do this. And he's even a 10 one as well. Yeah. So we can start discarding and getting more tarot cards. I probably should have pivoted away from blue seals earlier, but I didn't know any better. All right, 65. Discard this one, I think. Mult cards? Yeah. Switch these guys over to mult cards. Make some money. Discard some more cards here. That one, I guess. I'm not turning anything into that. Yeah, these are useless to us. We'll go ahead and sell these. Then here, I think I actually should probably play a hand. Only got a few more discards left. I don't even think I win off of this if I play this. Oh, switch these. Hopefully this is kind of what I was talking about. Hopefully this works. I switched it after I played the hand. I think I mean, the hiker was multiple triggering after switching it after playing it. So theoretically I should see times the mult, times the mult, times the mult. No, it didn't work. I switched him after it. It didn't work. You can't switch him midway through, perhaps. Did I just end my run? All right, hold on. Let's see if I did. All right. I think I gotta keep this guy. All right, so here I've got, I can't play these ones. I gotta keep the steel ones if I can. Something like this. What's the highest rated one here? All right, we're playing like this. All right, well, I'm gonna learn something right now. This is a big lesson for me. If I get something way higher than 5 million, then I'll know I can't go switching these orders after I've played my hand. Okay, so lost this one, but I was gonna lose that one anyway. And I know I was, because that only scored me 55 million compared to the original 5 million. So if I had chained together two hands of all jacks anyways, I wouldn't have won that. So what did I learn here? Major lesson, something I thought I understood, but I guess I messed up on. Once you played your hand, you can change the order of your jokers, but you can't change them once you've played the hand. You can't change them in the middle of the sequence. And I thought I was clever. I thought earlier, I thought I had seen that I was doing that because of the multiple triggers happening off of the hiker. And so I guess I was under the false understanding that I could switch the order of the jokers after playing my hand and committing to the table. It sucks because I lost, but if you do the math on that, I was going to lose that anyways. We needed 300 million for that blind, and I was sitting on 61 million after playing my best hand. I wasn't going to win that anyways. But I did learn a lot there. Okay. So what's the big takeaway from this? The first one is, of course, as we thought, there are some very powerful things you can do whenever you have the DNA Joker. That is a crazy Joker. The next thing is, we learned a lot about... we unlocked a whole new Joker in this playthrough with the Brainstorm Joker, this one that's kind of hidden over here, and this extra clone. So we've got two clones here. We can make multiple clones. This is interesting. I think now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exit to the menu, see what thing I unlocked. Because I unlocked a glass Joker of some kind. Have at least 5 glass cards in your deck. Yeah. This Joker gains time for every glass card that's destroyed. Folks, I talked about this way earlier, and I mean at the very beginning, like maybe like the 4th video I had, where I talked about glass jokers and how they were kind of feel-bads cards. I could imagine a scenario where they might be good late, they could kind of push your extra limits, but how if you shattered one, it would feel bad every single time, and how I was like, well, the cards that you want to put the glass things on are the cards that you don't want to play, because if you play them, then they can be gone. But you also don't want to put them on your weak cards because you're never going to use them. So there's got to be some extra benefit for why you would ever want to play a glass card. That's it. This is the glass Joker deck playthrough card. Because without this, your glass cards are kind of weaker. They just kind of are. I mean, yeah, obviously they can push to heights, and especially when you're making, like the playthrough I just did, where I just made multiple copies of glass jokers there, and I wasn't fully utilizing it correctly. I put it on clubs, you know, whatever. I was thinking about, you know, oh, I just want to put it on something. Maybe later on I can convert that to a hearts. It was a marginal play. I thought maybe I could switch it over to hearts later. Just didn't end up panning out. It did later, but not early enough. This is the first time I've actually wanted to play a glass card. But now I see, with a card like that, how you could really push it to new heights. You really do need a card like this, something that you feed the fire on, and which is a funny because there's that card, the campfire, that does a similar kind of thing. It gets stronger, but that one always resets. You need a card that feeds forever to go to high levels. There's no real way to get up to those, like those tier 12, tier 13 like antes without a card like that. There just is no feasible way. I mean, raw card power alone, you can't do it. And I am starting to understand, and I'm going to go look this up now, because I think one of the revelations I'm having here is I do believe that there is just a tier list. I know there's tier lists. I'm sure I can go Google, go YouTube, and find 55 tier lists in 3 seconds about what's the best Joker. I don't care. I want to figure it out for myself. It's more fun that way. But I'm curious. I'm thinking that it's the case that if you play the holographic, or the foil, the holographic, and the polychromes in that order, I think that's the tiers of power. which is also the order they're in the compendium or whatever, or your like bestiary of cards or whatever you want to call that. So that would make sense, but it's also the order at which you find them in packs as the game progresses. Like polychromes are harder to find early, so I think that would make sense. But then in addition to that, that's also making me reconsider how much blue chips are worth compared to multiples. I'm thinking blue chips are nice, but as the game goes on, you definitely want to be just throwing. Because think about it, on a foil card, on a holographic card, it gets plus 50 chips. And I'm sorry, I meant to say a foil. A foil card gives plus 50 chips. A holographic card gives plus 10 mult. I don't know if it's a 1-to-5 ratio, 10/50. But I do know that bonus cards only give like plus 30 chips, and then mult cards give plus 4. So that ratio is 4-to-30, which is 2-to-15, which is 1-to-7.5. Right, so in that case, the bonus cards are probably better. The bonus card is a better buff compared to mult cards than holographic buff is to... I meant to say... I messed that up. I think foils are weaker compared to holographic bonuses than bonus cards are to mult cards. Yeah. So in almost every case, I would rather like skip past foil jokers. Foil jokers are just not worth it as much as like they're much better than nothing. But I think it's much better to try to get to foil or holographic and higher earlier on your jokers if you can. Which we're talking Christmas, magical Christmas land, as we're saying, Magic the Gathering, your card game, the perfect situation, the perfect hand that arises. But anyway, so this is getting back to the glass joker. I think this is what we wanted. We wanted to see something like this in order to do that. And this is what I was talking about, right? Like I need to go through it. I think that's what I'm going to do here soon. I think discarding 5 jacks at the same time. This game, okay, I have spent a lot of time talking about how good this game is. I just want to quickly say one thing. I made a reference, I say earlier, previous video, about how this game kind of gives me similar feel to like Dark Souls in times, in the sense that like you'll just abruptly lose and be like, what just happened? But then be like, let's go again. That's what the game does to me. I'm like, I want to play. It wallops me. Just knocks me on my ass, and then afterwards I'm just like, okay, I want to play again. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, it understands, like, oh, you tried this build, here's this thing next time, try it again. And it makes me want to. Like, I want to go back in right now and be like, man, I want to try a jack deck again. I want to try that thing again. Just like I unlocked that queen's card earlier. Or previous one, the one that gives you like plus 13 mult to every held queen. I think it was like, it's like a Joker looking queen. It's a Joker that looks like a queen of some random suit. That's cool. So this gives me another thing to look out for. So that's what I want to do. I've talked about this in a few videos in the past, but now I've gotten some feedback from some of my viewers and stuff that maybe that's what I should do off screen. I haven't done this yet. I have never played a hand. Not a single hand. I don't even mean an ante. I haven't even played a single hand off camera. This has all been completely on screen, every bit of this. So the viewers have been kind of talking about it. I made a few questions, or I posted a few questions out there to people. Do you think I should go ahead and play some without the viewers watching, unlock some jokers and see what I can come up with? And I think I'm going to do that now. I think when I'm finished this video, which is I'm going to be wrapping up here soon. This will be a shorter one because I don't want to spend another hour starting a whole another one when I can go and really maybe unlock some new jokers here. I'm going to wrap up here, and I think I'm actually going to go and unlock some jokers and unlock some new content and just see what I can get. And then maybe the next video, either based upon requests that I've had from some people, I think I'm either going to try the harder difficulties of previously played decks, like maybe jump to tier 2, or like the next difficulty, whatever modifier it is, above the white poker chip. Maybe it's red poker chip, I don't know. But go to the next difficulty and maybe play the red deck and try to go to the higher difficulty where you don't score, I think it's you don't score money or score points or something on like the small antes or small blinds. I'm going to go try some of those, or I'm going to go do some of the challenge runs. Either way, I think I'm going to do some of that. I have to now anyways, because I've run out of unique decks to try until such a time as I unlock them using some other, and that's kind of, I think, what I'm gated on content-wise right now, is I need to unlock some new stuff, and so that's what I'm going to do next. So anyway, let's see if I've unlocked any other, nope, nothing else. So anyway, I don't think, I mean, it wasn't as, I didn't go as far as I wanted to with that deck, but it wasn't because of massive blunders on my end. So I feel satisfied with that. I just know that the limitation on my deck was, I mean, there's a few things I could have done different, right? Like I could have bought that planet card, the celestial one that gets stronger based upon how many times you feed it a planet card. And I mean, I could have maybe got there, but I think at the time, I think after I bought, you know, if you go back and rewatch that, what did I buy? Maybe 12 planet cards after I bought that thing, or said I wasn't going to buy it. And that still wouldn't have put me at a stronger version of like the license, but it could have if I had much seen it way earlier. And that's where it's like, this game does have an element of luck to it as well. I mean, there's a lot of skill in this game, a lot of thinking involved and stuff. There's also some amount of luck, which is what makes it fun. There's some variance to it as well, right? But as the game progresses, luck matters a lot less than your own individual skill and deck sculpting skills, which is what I love about it, right? Something I've long talked about in video games with my friends, and like my friends know, like I'm a big proponent of the idea that RNG should have should affect the start of a game, but have very little bearing on the outcome. Right? I'm going to explain what I mean by that. If I'm playing a game of, let's say, Civilization 5, if you know that game, and the map spawns, where I spawn and how I kind of start should really have a lot of variance. But as the course of the game goes on, I don't want high variance things happening that could just end my run and there's nothing I could do about it, right? Like, let's say, if you've ever played like Civ 6, there's like disasters. While it might be funny for videos or, you know, whatever, to have like a comet land and destroy your city on turn 3, because whatever, I haven't put any time into it. RNG is kind of funny, LOL, you know, just start the game back over, post on Reddit for free karma. If it's turn 150 and I'm playing like a one city challenge and my planet gets hit by a capital, if my planet gets hit by a comet, that doesn't feel good. I mean, sure, it might be funny. Some people are super resilient and you might be like, oh my God, this is going to be a funny video. Maybe if you recorded it or showed to somebody, that's great. Might be great for content, but it doesn't feel good in terms of like your own agency. The outcome of the game was not determined based upon your own individual skill. It was something beyond your control. And while some people might say, well, it's beyond your control, that's the game. That's the rub, right? I disagree. I think that the early game should be highly affected by variance, and then the later game should be less and less affected by it. To borrow another reference from something else, I talked about Magic the Gathering. It's just part of who I am. I play a lot of that card game. In a game of Magic, you start the game off, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon the same way. You start the game off with 7 cards in Magic. Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's 5, yeah, and then in Pokemon it's 7, right? Because it was made by Wizards of the Coast as well. They didn't really do a lot of unique things when they made that game. It's basically... Anyway, but... all 3 games, you start off with a high variance of 7 different cards. You have no control of the first opening 7 cards. I mean, you can mulligan, but that's beyond what I'm talking about here. You start off with 7 cards, you have no control of what you get outside of the deck that you built. But as the course of the game goes on, there's less and less and less about just what you draw. Like, what you draw top decking doesn't matter as much. Yeah, there's going to be situations where you're in top deck mode because maybe you're in a grindy matchup against somebody, but most of the time, like, it's the early turns that are the high variance because, you know, whatever 7 cards you got is whatever 7 cards you got. But as the game goes on, like, searching your library or your deck for a specific card or doing specific things that allow you to kind of defeat that variance, there's a lot of inbuilt systems in Magic and other card games similar to it, like, you know, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! That allow you to go search out a specific 2 or 3 cards and go get your thing. So the first 2 or 3 turns are high variance. But then you can kind of steer the car that's kind of wobbling all over the place back onto the road and get it under control. This game, I think, does understand that. There's a certain amount of variance at the beginning of the game. And what is that variance? Well, what jokers you get, what your tags are, things like that. But as the game goes on, the longer and longer you're playing, the more money you're generating, the better, the tighter your plays, the better decisions. Do I buy this random planet pack? which I seem to do a lot, or random planet card, even though I probably don't need to do it, or do I save that $1 or $2 and over time that adds up? How tight you play over the course of the game, that tightness will eventually accrue into a bigger, better purchase that'll eventually lead you to a higher snowball, count. And then at some point, instead of re-rolling the shop and getting one re-roll, and maybe you get a rare or re-roll and you get nothing, then you're going to re-roll it 4 or 5 times per round because you've been so good with your money, you can throw money at the problem to solve it because of your tight plays early. In this way, early game, the variance matters a lot, and high variance matters a lot, and it's a lot of chance and luck. Very better, luckier, good early game in this game. But as the game progresses, it's far more the trade-off is, if you know anything about like amortization calculations and stuff in banks, like there's a lot of front-loaded variance, and over the course of the game, it goes from front-loaded variance and very little skill to higher skill and very little front-loaded or back-loaded variance. At the very end of the game, the variance matters far less in this game than the decisions that you made early game. The accumulation of all of your decisions, how tight you played, all the decisions you make, and a little bit of luck adds up. And over the course of the game, that luck matters less and less and less. Though it did help the snowball, and it does matter. Luck matters a lot early game in this game, I can tell. That's probably why I'm going to guess a lot of players that played this game and really played all the time and grinded a lot probably do what I talked about in a few videos ago where I talked about gamification, where they kind of just reset multiple times until they get the opener they want, right? Like if I'm playing the green deck, maybe I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to, or not the green deck, that's not a good example, the yellow deck. Maybe like I start off with 10 money. Maybe I start off with 10 money and I intentionally re-roll until I get the 25 extra money at the beginning. I don't know, I'm just picking a random one. I guess it wouldn't be the yellow one you do that with. It'd probably be the red or the blue one. You get my point though. You change the deck and then you re-roll multiple times and start the game over multiple times in a row. And just keep restarting it until you get the tag you want at the first level. And then you play it for a few levels, and if you don't get a rare in your first 3 or 4 packs that kind of defines your run, you restart. And I'm gonna guess that's what a lot of players do after they play this game a lot over time. Eventually get to the point where they're like, well, I know this, I can feel that this isn't going to be a good run. And I've gotten a lot better at that myself, admittedly. But I mean, like, really good players, like my friend just sent me a message the other day, or actually it was today. He sent me a message earlier today and just like, oh, this is the best run I've ever had. I finally got to, I think he said, Ante 13. Rip, I haven't got there yet, but good for you, Colin. In order to get there, you have to have a certain level of skill at the game. And it's clear that he did. You're not getting to Ante 13 on accident. Obviously, there's some chance involved, as I said at the beginning of the game, but over the course of the game, tight plays, good decision-making gets you there. But I don't know how he plays, because I've never watched him, but I'm going to guess, just like most players, there's a certain level of gamification that you have to do as the game goes on, where you have to admit, I'm on Ante 3, my jokers suck, I haven't got any good rolls, just restart. Instead of playing this out like I'm doing for content and just for fun and exploration and my first foray and all these things and just kind of bulldozing through it and not restarting, you kind of just go, you know what? I'm going to admit defeat on this one. It's not a very good run. Let's just restart. So I'm going to play around and I'm going to try to do that a little bit. And I'm also going to unlock some more jokers. And I think before I make my next video, I'm going to try to go through and intentionally do some runs where I play suboptimally in order to unlock specific jokers. Like discard like a few videos ago, we did the discard a royal flush to unlock a joker. Rather than, do that in the middle of a run where I'm trying to do well, like I did in that previous one, go and unlock that now. That way they're in the potential list of jokers that I can try to go higher in the future. And I think that's going to be what takes us to the higher levels anyways, is having access to some of those jokers that are currently, like the Jack one that I didn't have access to until just now. Right? Those are actually like limiting what I can do right now. And I think I've kind of got to the end of like the base jokers that are in the game. I'm starting to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel when it comes to new stuff, that I'm not seeing a lot of new jokers anymore. And sometimes when I do see them, I don't even want to buy them because I'm already stuck on 5. I already know what I'm trying to do and I don't have the space to buy it and discover it. So it'd probably be better to do that off screen. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap that up here. And I just want to say again, if this is your first time watching my videos and you made it this far, my gosh, you're a trooper. But I appreciate it. Like, like, subscribe if you like the content. If you have any comments or you have any, like just general comments about how I can make the videos better or what stuff you'd like to see, or if you'd like to see me go the challenge deck route versus go the, like, higher tier versions of previous decks I played route. If you have any comments on which ones you'd like me to see, do that. And also know I've promised viewers multiple times now that I plan on playing some other games. That will be coming very soon. I just didn't really feel like it in the last few days. I've just been kind of feeling under the weather. So I'll probably try to take off on that here soon. But that's it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Until next time, I'm the Blue Titan, and stay cool, stay in school, and blah, 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 segue, bad segue, whatever. We'll figure it out eventually. See ya.